So I'm Emma Whittle. I graduated from the University of Birmingham first time round as an undergraduate. I did an English literature and philosophy degree, and that was in 2011 that I graduated. And I did a master's degree in literature, culture and modernity, which I graduated in 2014. Yeah, so I think that I wanted to study something that gave me sort of a breadth of topics. So both in my undergraduate degree, so with English and philosophy, that was kind of my passion at school, was always reading and English, and I wanted to kind of expand my critical thinking through another subject as well, which is why I thought that philosophy would be a good pairing with that, I suppose. And then I kind of carried that through, I think, into my postgraduate study. So literature, culture and modernity was a really brilliant course that explored, it was 19th and 20th century writing, but also the broader culture around that. And I think that helped me, I suppose, be able to be creative and curious about a wider range of things than just the writing. So, for example, I'm really interested in visual art, so that helped me explore that, and that's something that I touched on in my thesis actually when I finished that postgraduate degree. So yeah, I think it's a breadth of content, I suppose, that really appealed to me. I knew that I was really interested in research and researching that particular topic. So I started with looking at all sorts of courses in English, just as a natural follow-on from my undergraduate degree, looking at courses across the country. But the course at Birmingham really stood out to me because, as I mentioned, that breadth of exploration around the culture as well as the writing at the time that we would be studying. So I think I really did specifically hone in on that as a great course to choose, and I'm really glad that I did. Things I found Birmingham a really supportive environment to study in. There were lots of opportunities for discussion with other students, but in quite an informal way, so it's quite a welcoming space to share ideas. I think that was really nice to help build confidence and sort of learn how to share ideas, debate and discuss ideas, but also kind of bring new perspectives into your world and kind of into how you're thinking about whatever it is that you're debating at the time. So that was a really great quality, I think, about studying at Birmingham. And then also I think the campus feel of Birmingham as well is such a special environment. It just created a really nice buzz and energy, and to be able to study in an inspiring environment was really nice as well. And then, of course, the Barber Institute and the Lapworth Museum. I mean, those are great gems to have on site, and just to be able to spend some free time in those spaces as well was really nice. So after Birmingham, after my postgraduate degree, I worked in an office and as an administrator for a year or so before applying for a paid internship at Cheltenham Literature Festival in their programming team. I knew that I loved researching different ideas and learning about different aspects of culture, so from books and art through to sort of politics and social issues. So I thought this would be a really great opportunity to develop those skills. I've always struggled with mental health as well, so an internship seemed like a great stepping stone into a career path, just to give me a chance to try that out and get some experience learning a bit more about the creative industries. So that was a 6-month internship. And then at the end of that process, I was lucky enough to be given the opportunity to join the Literature and Science Festival programming teams as an assistant. And I sort of moved up into more senior programming roles over the last 6 years from there. So 2 years ago now, when I was a program manager, I created a project called VoiceBox, which is a free program of events that aims to amplify the voices and priorities of young people and promote change. And this program now sits alongside the festivals each year as well. So very recently, actually, I've been promoted into a new role, which is my current role, which is the Programming and Strategic Engagement Lead for Literature and Science Festivals. That's a very long job title, but in a nutshell, I still continue to create and develop events and activities across the festivals for a range of different topic areas. I run VoiceBox still, which I've mentioned, our programme for 18 to 30s. And I also now work on strategies that aim to sort of unpick how we can engage more people with arts and culture through these projects. So as well as that, I'm on the board of trustees for Seven Arts in Worcester, And I'm just really passionate about engagement with culture, and I love the potential arts and culture has to create change and improve our well-being. So I think that's something that really drives me in my job now, and that's where I am today. Yeah, so I think there are lots of skills that I've sort of honed, I suppose, at university, and then I've taken on in my career so far. So I mentioned reading and study groups, so sort of debating a text or talking about a particular theme or topic in a book that we've been studying as part of the English literature course. That in itself, I think, is a really valuable skill, that listening skill, that ability to give your critical opinion clearly and listen to others and take that on board and kind of adapt and change your views on particular issues or topics. And I think that's something that as a programmer you have to remain neutral, I suppose, and make sure that you're portraying everyone's views and having a fair discussion about things. So that in itself is a really important skill that I think came from university. Learning to speak confidently and clearly, or to have conviction in your ideas and your opinions. I think that's something that if you struggle with confidence, I think it can only help being in that supportive academic environment as well. So that really helped prepare me, I suppose, for my job roles. And then I think it can be quite overwhelming and daunting when you first start studying, when you get that huge reading list to get through, particularly for English and philosophy as well. There's lots of reading material to get through. Now, although the course is set up to make that as easy as possible, you still have to become really good at managing deadlines and tasks and timelines and all of that sort of thing. So I think that, again, that kind of lays the foundation for being a really well organized person who can manage complex workloads. So with my job now, I'm often working on multiple projects, and yeah, that's something that certainly I learned as a skill at the university. Look at skills outside of your academic kind of training, I suppose, that will complement those things. So things like empathy and listening, and that there are so many things like that I think we often overlook when we're creating our CVs. We think, oh no, we need to be very specific about our education or whatever it is. But yeah, so I think looking at skills outside of that complement those things is really important. I think similarly, backing yourself, so having the confidence that you offer something unique, and looking for, sort of identifying those qualities within yourself and making sure that you push those when you're going to interview or when you're writing your cover letter. I think that's really important. And then finally, certainly related to my job and in the creative industries more broadly, I think always being curious and that keep on sort of promoting that creative thinking within yourself. So I'm always reading or listening to podcasts or the radio or watching the news of TV shows. I think it's really important to kind of absorb culture around you and kind of feed off that, I suppose, when you're looking for jobs, because I think it can just help to make you a more creative person, I suppose.